Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, using the Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. There's the box if you want to see it, and I know the website's here. I think it's at the bottom. If I could read it. Llewellyn, I think. Llewellyn.com. There's a couple other socials there if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. Spellcasting Oracle cards by Barbara, Flavia, and Lisbeth. There, you get their full names on there. That way, if you want to see how they're spelt. And then there's website for them, a couple websites actually. She Who Is Art is what pops out to me, but if anything else there, makes you interested, go ahead and go for it, of course. And finally, the dice I'm using, most of them come from the dice shop, I think. mathartfun.com, and then there's this Tom Anders. I have a 21-sided dice, which does omit the Fool, but that's what I use for the major arcana, and then I got a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice for the element of the minor arcana. And there's the information if you want it. There's also this part. I almost forgot to show that. If that's something you're interested in, if you want to use that, go ahead and use that if you want to follow that down. All right. And with that being said, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again, and over to your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. And that being said, what do we have for Aries? Oh, a lot of major arcana popping out for you. And a hiccup. Okay. Okay. And we got to get the oracle cards out here. Alright, so you got a lot of major arcana. You got the Death card, the Temperance card, the World card, the Tower card, the Lovers. I think that's it. But that's a lot. You got a lot coming in here, which is just telling me, when I see a lot of major arcana come in, I feel like they're saying, this is going to happen. Like this, if this reading hits, like there's no way around it. They're giving you a heads up about what's coming next. The Death card coming in with the Blossoming Abundance is giving you a heads up that this situation in the long run will be to your advantage. The sooner you make peace with it, the sooner you get that advantage. I'm thinking I mentioned it, but maybe I didn't. You got the Death card, but you also have the World card in the tarot, but you also have the World card in the Oracle deck. The World cards also talk about the end of a phase, a new phase. It's usually more of a revelation. It's more like, something big is about to start, a whole new era. This is like leaving high school, going into college. That's like the World card. The Death card is like just a flat out ending that's going into a whole, like a way of life is ending. The two of these together, like, this is happening. If this reading ends up hitting, this is happening, because I feel like other people have been slowly walking away from this situation anyway. The situation has slowly been coming to a grinding halt. It's becoming more and more apparent that this situation is ending. I feel like for some reason, maybe it didn't seem like the whole situation was going to go the way it's going, but it is. There's a lot changing here. I don't think you're leaving right away, by the way. Whatever it is, there's other people who are emotionally at least checked out, and they have been for a while. That might be like one of the factors. Like if you're looking around you, if this is a work situation, or a family situation, or a friend situation, whatever it may be for you, people have been emotionally checked out for a while. They've been putting in half effort. And you can tell that they're contemplating something, but they might not be sharing what they're thinking. People might be more aloof to you, or not, just like something's going on, but they won't tell you what's going on. like, you know that they're holding things back. This, when I get yawns and hiccups, that's kind of like heavy energy. I feel like the writing's been on the wall for a while, but it's more like, okay, that was a problem with them. Like, that's a them issue. And I feel like that's how I've been looking at it up to this point. Like, okay, that's a them issue. It's about to be a you issue, too. Whatever's going on here, something is ending. Why is the tower showing up for Aries? I don't want to just... I want to be sure, because I'm not sure that this is very pleasant with the transition, but we'll find out. King of Fire, reversed. And the Chariot, half in, half out. So, the Tower coming in is like, when the King of Fire is reversed, especially because Aries is an Earth, or King of Earth, King of Fire. Aries is a fire sign. When you're dealing with another fire sign that's reversed, it's not going correctly, it's not jiving with you. It's like two forms, it's like, I don't know how to explain this, it's like two different forms of fire that just seem to compete rather than work together. I don't know how it's this. I'm trying to figure out a way. It's like, if you consider steam a form of fire, if you're willing, and then like lava, another one, like they work differently. They don't work compatibly. They work against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't working. And I'm getting, like, this is the shock. Like, somebody I thought had my back, or somebody who I thought, okay, they work kind of like I work. This could be fine. Whatever they do, they'll keep me in mind, or I'll be able to work with it. It's just like a very quick just exit. And I almost feel like somebody's exiting here, or somebody is like, they're not looking out for you. They don't have your back. Their loyalty is to themselves, and it's very like, they might give you a heads up about what's going to happen, but that's about it. They're not going to help you. And I really thought that they would, is what I'm getting. I feel like I'm trying to understand what's going on. It feels like it's already a done deal before I knew what was going on. It's almost like, you know, it reminds me of like, I feel like if somebody else owned a car, for example, maybe this was a family affair, somebody else owned a car and you were using it, you were helping them, you know, what they needed. You were like, if somebody older had a car and they're letting you use it, but you take them to appointments and you get them groceries, but you get to use the car to go to work, and you get to do it to run your own errands as well. As long as you help take them where they need to go, and you get them stuff that when they need it, you can use it for what you need it for as well. So if this was the analogy, like, I'm expecting that to be fine. I'm not expecting anything really bad to happen. Next thing I know, they sold the car, and I'm handing the keys over to somebody else, and I no longer have a car. I didn't see it coming. The tower's coming in, like, I didn't see that coming, and I was benefiting them as much as I was benefiting myself. You'd think they'd at least give you a heads up, but they didn't. They just made a quick decision, and they just kind of changed the whole game. Now you're stuck without a car, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get to work, let alone any of the other chores I need to do. So now I have to figure out all these things, and I'm left high and dry. That's the Tower card in this situation, especially when I got the King of Fire reversed. It's kind of saying everything was good. I was doing for them. It was working for me. I was getting benefit out of this, but I was doing them. I was like paying them back, but while I was doing it, like, it was serving us both. And then they just pulled the rug out from under me. The energy is hard here because I feel like I don't have time to be mad about it. Like, it's done. It's a done deal. There's no turning back. There's no fixing it. I'm not sure at first that I'm going to communicate with this person after this. Is Aries going to? Aries won't waste their time is what I'm getting. So if there's no point to the conversation, I feel like I won't. But if there's a point to it, I will. Two of Pentacles, half in, half out, and the Hierophant, half in, half out. I don't see the point in it. And for Aries, when I'm looking at this, like, I have bigger things I have to fix. Now I have a big problem in front of me because of this change. I have to center my energy on rectifying my situation, I don't have time to search down this person and give them the third degree. I don't even see why I would. Like, it's too late now. They made their decision. I'm up shit creek without a paddle. They didn't seem to care. I don't know what they're doing. Like, all those things I was doing for them, I don't know how they're going to fix that now, but that's on them. I guess they'll have to find some other way to live their life, because apparently what I was doing wasn't worth it. So I feel like I'm just not even talking to them. I'm not going towards them. I'm like, well, they must have something figured out there. I guess good for them. And I just kind of leave it where it is, and I go and fix my own stuff. I'm like, I don't have time to deal with them. I don't have time to waste on, like, what? Just yelling at them for why? It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to make my situation better. I need to work on my situation. I need to put my situation in order. So I'm not wasting my time with them. And I'm like, well, I hope things work out for them, because I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to ask. I don't care. They didn't seem to care what was going to happen to me, so why should I care what was going to happen to them? As we keep going forward, I do feel like they try to contact you. Okay. Who's they? They do try to contact you. The Emperor upside down, that's your card. That's Aries card. And the Knight of Fire, half in, half out. Okay, so they're going to try to contact you. Let them say what they want to say. I'm getting don't argue it. They didn't honor you. So I feel like I would just tell, like, I keep feeling like this thing like, well, I think I'm going to get another car, and you can drive that one, and we can go back to what we were doing. It's kind of like, no, you pulled the rug right out from under me. That caused me a lot of problems. The last couple months, I'd had to just fend for myself. You didn't even give me a heads up. I'm not going to get in that situation with you again. And I feel like they try to make reasons why this, why that. You know what? It's just a no. And I feel like the advice is to, like, keep it short and sweet, and just save yourself the stress and just move on from it. The situation is over. Even if you try to talk it out with this person, they're telling me the end is coming either way. Whatever this is, this person did not honor you. Let them figure out their own problem with somebody else. You can talk with them, obviously. You can do what you want, clearly. But don't get sucked into a conversation where they try to, like, justify what they did, because it's just going to make you angry. And I almost feel like they're trying to trigger you. I don't know why they're trying to do that, but they might be trying to trigger you for a reason. Be forewarned, if this is a work situation, I feel like this happens sometimes to Aries, but you can tell me if I'm wrong clearly in the comments. They'll try to back you into a corner and trigger you to make you look like the bad guy for something they did wrong. Like, they'll try to trigger you and make you have, like, a moment where you, like, really say how you feel and you're really angry. And then they turn it around like you're the one who caused all the problems. And they've tried to, like, justify everything they did because look what I had to deal with, look how Aries is, which is not correct. So you don't have to put up with them trying to trigger you to try to manipulate this situation. Just say, you know what, your reasons were your reasons. Okay, I'm moving on. And if they try to keep talking, just like, I don't have time for you, and just move on from it. Don't let them trigger you. Don't let them kind of trap you into some type of conversation that's just going to backlash against you, because I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to validate what they did by after the fact triggering you to almost trying to make it look like you're the one who's the problem, which is not the truth. So be aware of that. After that, you do have new things coming in. So how do we get to, like, the good things for Aries? The first thing is to not get sucked into this. Whatever somebody does, it's clearly not right, but it doesn't. We don't want to put your energy into that. We want to put your energy into what you want, not this foolishness that, you learned your lesson. That person's done. You're not going to spend your time with that again. All right, we're moving on. They can fix their own problems, whatever that is. Okay. So if we can move on from that, the sooner we can move on from that, the sooner we get to Four of Wands starting to show up. And then, what is that? The 14 is the Temperance card. Things are going to slowly start coming in. It's not going to happen really fast. It's going to take some time. You do have Earth cards coming in, but you have Earth cards leading to a high value Earth card, which is the Ten of Pentacles. Excuse me. Whatever this is, however this ends, it does seem to change the landscape of what you have to deal with. Excuse me. You got the Earth, not the Earth card. You got the Death card once, and you got the World card twice. I got the hiccups, boy. I hope I'm not making this easier than it actually is, because I know it's not easy. But like getting past that foolishness, detaching it, and going into the next situation, like, am I not saying it right or something? The sooner you're able to do that, the sooner you get to the better things. It's kind of like, you're like, it's like if you're looking forward to going on a vacation with your friends to whatever your most enjoyable thing would be, like if it's an amusement park or camping or even going to the movies or whatever it would be doing with your friends or people you care about. It brings not only that in quicker, it's kind of like instead of having to wait, 3 months to go, it's bringing it in you can bring it in as soon as 3 weeks. And you can make it something that just you get to keep and keep doing. It's kind of like instead of waiting for them, it's like instead of elongating it out, not only can I have it sooner, but I can like move closer to this place. It's like maybe you're a big fan of New York City, for example. And maybe you can move closer to that so you guys can do that more often, or something nearer to you that you can do more often. Like maybe it's something you can do once a month. This seems to be like what you're going towards. It's like something that you get to do more often. It seems like it's a monthly thing. Whatever this is you're going towards, it's something good that you get to keep and you get to enjoy. But it doesn't start until we let go of whatever this past energy is. We're clearing out this past energy because it's just taking up space. So if you're looking at your life like a trunk or like a case or like a box, whatever, a box, this is taking up too much space in your box. You need to get that out of there so we can refill that with what you actually want in there, and then you can start enjoying life more. The sooner you're able to do that, the better things are going to be for you. I also get like this, you got to work towards it for a while. It's not going to happen, like, it's not going to be at its fruition right off the bat. So like if it starts in 3 weeks, for example, you start doing things with your friends, it's something that's going to get progressively stronger, progressively better over time. So even if it wasn't like a friend thing, if it was a job thing, if you're going into possibly a new job or a new department or something like that, you start off kind of lower in the totem pole, on the totem pole there, but then you slowly work up and you will soon enough be at the top where you'll have this great abundance and this great value that you want. The only way you're going to get through this, to get what you want, is to have your control, which Aries is a great strategizer. It's seeing it in the proper perspective and knowing that you're the one in control. Other people are behaving badly. Other people are being manipulative. Sometimes there's no point to call it out because there's people just trying to manipulate the situation here. Whoever this is that you're walking away from is just trying every angle they can to manipulate the situation. Something was said to me once years ago. You can't win an honorable fight with a dishonorable person because they don't play by your rules. They don't play with dignity. They don't play with respect. They don't play with honor. So no matter what you do, you could say everything correct and put it right where it belongs and have all the proof, but they'll use lies and manipulation and false accusations and like anything, manipulated photos even, whatever you can think of, falsified proof. They will use everything against you to deny, and they'll never admit that they did anything wrong. There's no point to hold on to that. You're right either way. You know that you're right. This person admitting that's like fool's gold. It's not going to happen. You can't win an honorable fight with a dishonorable person. The sooner you move yourself out of that and you strategize just getting out of that, just moving on from it, the sooner you do that, the sooner you can have the good things coming in. Whoever this person is, they do seem to have a hold on you, so I don't want to make it seem like it's just real simple, like, just walk away, it's fine. It's not like that. They do get under your skin a little bit, so you got to be like on the ball with that, and you have to be engaged and realize, okay, this person does trigger me. I got to like do my best to not let them trigger me. I I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna. How to Mend Your Broken Heart. It's geared towards romantic things, but you can redirect it towards anything. I've used it for coworkers and friends, and you name it, I've used it. I highly recommend that book. It helps bring down the triggers and puts that stuff in your control. Kind of like, okay, I don't like that. Normally that would trigger me, but like due to the exercises I've done, it doesn't bother me that bad, and I'll just keep doing those exercises so this person doesn't matter. Again, we want to disconnect from that part that's not working. They don't deserve your energy. And you can put all the energy fighting them, proving to them that you're right and they're wrong, and go as in many circles as you want to, but you'll never win that argument because the only person that's going to know you're right is you, and you already knew that to begin with. They're never going to admit to it. They're never going to agree to it. You can't win an honorable fight with a dishonorable person. So if you keep it together, strategize to just leave it in the past, let that person be their own problem. The greatest revenge in this one, if you're a revenge person, is just leaving them to their own devices, because they'll just self-destruct. They'll just create more misery for themselves, and especially when you just walk away and won't play. I don't know if I should say this, but maybe I should. Sometimes that's what burns people the most when they try to get the better of Aries. When you just disengage and you just won't play, it really feels to them like they don't matter to you. Like, you don't react, and you don't even react. You don't look at them, you don't ignore them. Like if they say hello to you, you're like, hello, and you just keep going. Like you're not reacting in any sense. Like you're not even like ignoring them. You're just kind of like, I don't have anything to say, or I'm just not dealing with you anymore. And they could come up and say hello, and you're like, hello, have a good life, and just kind of move on. Like, we're good. I don't need you. The more they feel like they don't matter to you, the more they feel like you're unaffected by them, like literally unaffected by them, it will drive them mad. That is kind of like the greatest revenge. Can't say that I haven't done that myself once in a while. But when you just stop reacting and you just act like they're just anybody else off the street, and they're like, hey, you want to hang out? And you're like, no. No, I don't. No, we're good. You have a good life. I'll have a good life. Just have your life somewhere else. It really does. Actually, I have done that. And it does. It's funny because, especially when you know other people in common, you find out around the way that, that person gets very upset because they don't understand why you're so cold or you're so mean or you're so hateful. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything cold or mean or hateful. You're just moving on like they never mattered. That's what they wanted to treat you that way, so you're just like, all right, that's fine, let's go on. I'm just telling you, that sometimes burns the biscuits the most. That burns their biscuits the most. I don't know if that's helpful, but, it's weird, because, you hear things around the way, and you're just like, wow, really? When I did that, I'll be honest, that's not why I did it. I was just done, and I was too exhausted to keep going with it. I was like, I'm just exhausted for this. I don't have the energy for it. And then when I found that part out, that they were really upset and bothered that I could just walk away like that, and I'm like, really? And I also thought to myself, well, I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.